Hello and welcome to New Filmmakers Los Angeles in partnership with Movie Maker magazine. My name is Danny DeLillo and we're here at the South Park Center and I'm here with Christina with her movie Search History. Let's take a look at the clip.
First act debriefing, test 1, 2. Today's story begins with a battle. A violent struggle to find out what it means to be Korean in America. My aunties, the gatekeepers of family secrets, respond with violence to what was supposed to be a meaningful, sweet gift to my grandmother on her 80th birthday. It's time to enter the information age.
Christina, thank you for being here and congratulations on your film.
Thank you.
I loved it, and for anyone else that hasn't seen it, tell us a brief synopsis.
So Search History is a crazy story about a Korean-American millennial girl who forces her grandmother to do a DNA test on like 23andMe or Ancestry or something. And her whole family is so against it that she's like, something's going on here, right? And so she steals her grandmother's DNA, and I won't spoil it, but her hope is to find out more about her roots, but she finds out so much more. And she realizes how much she really doesn't know about her own heritage and her own history. Mm-hmm. And so that's really what the film's about.
You took me on so many emotions watching your film. You know, there was so many wonderful comedic moments, so many great moments between the family members as well, and the relationship between the two friends, and creating this podcast. And then, you know, there's moments of pure tears, you know, of just finding out this information about her family. Wonderful story. Where did the inspiration come for you in creating this particular story?
Well, I think the writer Lisa Oh and I, what we really wanted to do was just explore our connection and also disconnection and understanding of what Asian American history is, which is a completely separate entity from American history, what we learn in school, versus our parents' history in Asia. Like, it's kind of shameful. If you ask me to say a president's name, a Korean president's name, I kind of can't, because I'm so American, and yet, like, as an Asian American person, like, what is it really to have, our own understanding? Yeah. So we wanted to explore that, but really, it's an exploration of how we really don't know what it is. Yeah. More than anything. Yeah. So I think we wanted to just see how we can explore that on film. Yeah.
And I love that you did that. I mean, it was a wonderful story, and the way that you told this story was just great, because these wonderful two friends that have got this incentive to create this podcast, and there's a big incentive there to kind of tell this story, and then just the way you kind of flicker into the memories of what the family experience is so touching and so amazingly interesting as well. And your cast were fantastic. I mean, everything from the friends to all the family. How was that casting process for you? Because it was perfect.
Yeah, we really lucked out. Because in the beginning, I felt like it was kind of daunting because we needed people that were so specific, not just in terms of like bilingual and they have a certain understanding of the culture, but comedic sense and and also dramatic sense and all this. But we got so lucky. What we really banked on is I think the Asian American film community is we're really tight knit, and everybody knows at least of each other. And we're very supportive.
That's great.
And so we did a breakdown, of course, and sent it off, but we really pulled our resources from our fellow APA filmmakers and friends of mine who have the same agenda in their work. And so I think we got our cast through really our community. Yeah. But we got so lucky. They're so good. Yeah.
So amazing. And as a director as well, you obviously these very distinctive, friends. I just love like just how you just dress the sets and the costume. Like was there kind of a clear sign of how you wanted to kind of for it to look visually as well?
Yeah. I think well, most of our crew, most of our department heads are Asian American. They're not all Korean American, but like our DP is Thai American, and our PD is Chinese. And you know, so we had a lot of Asian American and Asian department heads. And I think, well, one of the things thematically is that we don't have a clear understanding of what, you know, our history is and how we depict Korea.
Yeah.
And so we took a lot of creative liberties in that thesis.
Yeah.
You know. So yeah.
Well, one of the things you said last night at the festival, which I found interesting, is not just how, I mean, I found it very interesting coming from England to learn about, you know, how, you know, Japan and how Korea felt after the war, but even the fact that many, you know, Asian Americans didn't know this history either. Was that kind of something, as you said, with your crew, but you wanted to kind of say, hey, this was actually going on? I know it was many years before our time, but to kind of give an essence of history as well.
Yeah, we definitely wanted to give an understanding and, of course, the essence of the history. But I think a lot of it was, well, there's this thing that happens in Asian American and Asian culture where many things go unsaid.
Yeah.
And it's not a sense of like disrespect or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's just more like, let's move forward and let's not dwell.
Yeah.
Also, I want to protect you, the next generation, from this past.
Yeah.
But what else happens is when people don't talk about certain things, when generations don't talk about certain things, that history kind of like leaves with them.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, yeah.
And so, yeah, I think that actual culture that happens is something we wanted to plug into too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that, because even from a British perspective, like, we're very quiet about how we're very sort of, you know, proud. We don't really say too much. And yet here in United States of America, it's the most expressive country, you know, on the planet. You know, it's kind of interesting to mix all of that in together and kind of put it into entertainment, so to speak. I think the story obviously had a very strong element and a real togetherness of family as well. You really created that as a director, like this wonderful like family environment. How do you work as, you know, how do you work with the actors? Are you kind of very hands-on? Because obviously it looked like a real family, these wonderful friends. You kind of hands-on with it, or do you kind of let people play, or how do you work with that?
I feel like once you, especially with cast and crew, once you have determined this is the person for it, I think like really my job is to just let them, just support them and let them soar, I think. Because I think there's a sensibility that they bring to it, whether it's to a role or to cinematography or the editing or whatever, that they have that I probably don't have, actually, you know, and that's why as a director, I think oftentimes people think, oh, you're the leader, it's your vision. But it's like, it's really what, directing is what I do. I just direct it and just guide, you know? And I think that really works when you've picked the right people with the broader sensibility that you might not have. Yeah. You know, so I think, especially in this project, legit everybody had such a great understanding and a personal understanding and connection to everything. Yeah. So I felt very like, go for it, you know? Yeah. So it was like, I'm very lucky.
No, I mean, we're gonna just join your set now because this seems to run wonderfully and smooth. Was there do you have any challenges in facing this project? Was there any or? Yeah,
for sure. I think, dude, we just got so lucky. I think the biggest challenges were probably the costumes were difficult because
they were great though. They were fantastic.
The hanboks, the crazy Kurosawa stuff, like that was probably the hardest because we pulled the hanboks from our writer's family, actually, like her family's hanboks, but they were like for middle school girls, and so we're trying to fit like grown women into these. Oh my goodness, I love it. Yeah, but other than that, like trying to rig things like that, and also always money and time. Oh, always. Like that's the biggest challenge, of course. Yeah, money and time. Yeah.
How did you create that looking back into history scene? I mean, because you the scene where you obviously she obviously met her love and that whole scene together. Where did you film that?
So the location, the temple was in San Pedro. It's called Korean Friendship Bell.
San Pedro, I
Yeah,
love it.
I didn't know it existed until
Isn't that
this film.
fantastic?
Yeah.
In St. Pedro, I love it. Because I was
Yeah.
like, you must have an expensive trip you just flew out over there.
Just
so
for B-roll, yeah.
just for
yeah,
B-roll, I
yeah.
was like, wow, that's amazing. That's
I know,
amazing.
I
So
know, yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
What's it like to have your film on a big screen at a film festival at NewFilmmakers Day? What was the experience like for you to really see it up there? Because your audience gave a very strong reaction to your film, and I think it was very powerful. What was your experience with that?
I think it always, because I've been doing this for a while, and I remember a time where I felt it was such a rare experience to hear Korean on a big screen.
Yeah.
Not like in the tablets while my mom watches K-drama.
Yeah.
Not that, but to actually see a multicultural audience and actually hear and see Korean was so rare at a certain point, And I think it's happening a lot more and more now. And so even now when I watch it, whether it's my work or someone else's work, it makes me feel very like, okay, like here we go. Do you know what I mean?
Of course, yeah.
So I think that's probably the biggest like takeaway from me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's
to experience that.
wonderful. For those that haven't seen it, honestly, like it's such a wonderful journey. But on top of all of that, like I was left in tears at the end. It was a very powerful family moment, and I think it just had a real essence of whatever family you're from, just an essence of togetherness and how important love is, and just kind of being as open as you can with each other, which I think you left very nicely for us. What is next for you?
So, a big challenge is next for me. I'm gonna go off to Shanghai to direct a film.
You're going like in 2 days, aren't you?
In 2 days.
In 2 days.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's a challenge because I don't speak the language, and of course I'm going into a different culture to tell a story. And so I think like just as an artist, it's a big challenge.
Are you excited?
I'm very excited.
Yeah.
I think any project or story that makes you feel a little nervous and like wow, I'm gonna really expand from this it's a great opportunity.
Well, I think Shanghai is going to be one of the fastest growing movie making cities in the world,
Yeah.
which is very exciting as well. Well, I wish you all the best. I wish you could all come with you,
Yeah.
but maybe next time. And what so far in your filmmaking career, what is there a piece of advice that you go by, or things that you've learned that you kind of could give to anyone else that was maybe wanting to follow in your footsteps?
Yeah, I think I was mentioning this last night too. This is something that I'm still working on, and I have not mastered at all, but I still constantly go back to, because I think as a filmmaker, there's just a lot of noise and a lot of voices, and you are tempted to focus on certain things, like whether that be, is it the zeitgeist, or is it, how am I going to get distribution, or, things like noise. But I think if you tap into something a lot bigger than that, which I know is a little cheesy to say, but I think you have a certain instinct and a voice within you that says this is the story to tell and this is how to tell it. And sometimes it's like this isn't the story to tell, or this is not the way to and I think if you tap into that every step of the stage, or the journey, whether it's choosing the story, choosing how to do it, who with who, and this is like every single thing,
Yeah.
then I think you're okay. I think you're gonna be okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's very. I feel reassured listening to this as well. So
Yeah.
thank you so much for Search History. Thank you for your film, Christina, and best wishes in Shanghai.
Thank you.
And please make more movies so we can watch them.
I will.
Okay. All right.
I will.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.